Hello and welcome. Wow, okay, so it looks like we're dropping a lot of frames, so I think my system's not doing well. I don't know if it's cooking over the weekend when I'm not here, but the computer's acting very odd, and so I'm getting a lot of drop frames, about 5%, so if I'm very stuttery and everything, I might have to end the stream. So just yell at me in the chat if this is hard to listen to, because it's so stuttery, but I think we're okay. I think I've got everything kind of back to normal. Yeah, but Photoshop, I'm wondering if there is a little bit of a conflict. I don't have an amazing, it's kind of an older system that I'm on right now, and I wonder if with OBS and Photoshop running at the same time, if they're both such memory hogs that it's kind of conflicting, because I was noticing when I was saving things and opening things, Photoshop was moving very slow, and then I was getting drop frames on the streaming software. So I don't know. I'll have to look that up, but not now. All right. So yeah, we've got a little bit of a lag with the with the computer. Something is slowing it down. But it's not crashing, so we may be able to pull this off. So, back again, another hot summer Monday. And sorry, a lot later than I thought, because I was having so much technical trouble. I didn't want to jump onto things live before I kind of had everything sorted out. I wasn't sure if Photoshop was even going to run at this point. But I think we're okay. I think we're okay now. But that can change at any moment, I've noticed. So, yeah, like everywhere else in the world, more heat. Whoa. Maybe here. Yeah, things are a little bit slow, so it's going to take a bit. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. It's actually much worse than I thought. Yeah, I'm having trouble. There we go. Kind of. Having trouble getting it to actually follow very well. Let me see. But anyhow, oh yeah, it doesn't. When it starts ignoring those keyboard shortcuts, you know you're in trouble. I think I've got something wrong. That notch is, I think it comes in first and then does the notch, but oh well. Try something else. So I love the mixed news about the Impossible Burger, if that's what it's called. We don't have it here. There's not a huge, even though it's kind of built into the Buddhist religion, there's not a huge vegetarian community or population in Japan. Probably none outside of Tokyo, but the Burger King's Impossible Burger, I guess they teamed up with some soy company to make a vegan friendly. That's the same thing as, like, you know, when McDonald's first started doing salads and people were like, why would you order a salad at McDonald's? Fast food started doing salads to sound healthier, and now they're doing vegan options. And so there were these stories, you know, heralding the how amazing and progressive and wonderful this is. You know, Burger King is really, you know, thinking ahead. And then other news stories started coming out that, well, yeah, I mean, it is an all soy product, but they're cooking it on the exact same grills they cook all their animal products, so it's basically going to be covered in, you know, animal grease, animal fat, from just being on that grill, and the like sodium and the calories in one of their burgers is actually worse than the regular meat, the regular beef-like burgers that they make. So it's pretty funny. They just can't win. When will those scientists ever learn? I just love that there's laboratories where they formulate. Oh, sorry. They formulate fast food. Oh, they're not on the same layer. All right. Well, this is looking small. What? But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny news. Yeah, the fast food places here just have a hard enough time, like, figuring out the you know, Japanese palate, the Japanese taste. So they don't mess around with anything too new and experimental, because they have a hard enough time figuring out how to get seaweed and soy sauce onto as many things as possible. Come on. Boom, boom. Yeah, this is a weird a weird way to draw with all this. Yeah, I'm really what was it? There was something that I was doing. I think it was something that was more mechanical, you know, where you could feel when something didn't work, you know, when some click didn't go or some feedback didn't go, and it made me miss those days of you, and you push a button and it doesn't work. You push it again, and you're trying to get the mechanism to actually make a connection or do something. And it doesn't remember every single time you push that button. It just remembers the time that it actually worked, the time that, whatever got sorted out and the connection was actually made. But when you're interacting, physically with a mouse or whatever with a digital, maybe a little bit more, with something digital, it remembers everything you did, because most of the time you're just clicking software, virtual software buttons anyhow, and it remembers every time you click. So if you're getting frustrated and you're still kind of living in an analog, mechanical mindset, and you're clicking something like, come on, it's the software is going to remember every 50 of those clicks, and as soon as everything gets sorted out and things start happening, it's going to try to do that. It's going to try to interact that many times, give you that many clicks, and that's just horrible. So I hate that when you click something to go somewhere, especially like on a television remote with these like smart TVs now with their wonderful Android, the garbage Android that doesn't have enough memory to actually run, that they put on televisions. You click the button to go to a certain menu, but if you click it again, it'll go back to the previous menu. So you click it and it doesn't seem to respond. You click it again and then it comes up the first time, but then it goes back again. Just like, all right, yeah, I just put enough memory in things so that they actually are somewhat responsive. I can't believe how unresponsive, the regular level of most digital devices is. It's ridiculous. Miserable. Oh, come on, quit multiple selection. I don't even know how to do that when I want to, but I do it when I don't want to all the time. Maybe just flip this guy so it's more of a showdown, not that. It's like, yeah, this with the menu too. You click it, and then you click it again, and it goes away. But if it doesn't respond, then when you click it, it comes and goes. Here we go. And we got a little French fry put right here. Okay, I think this works. Yeah, something like that. You gotta remember to kind of automatically off-center it so that the shadows, when I like put drop shadows and stuff, I don't have to then shift everything over. I think I still will have to here. But, all right, and what else? Oh, we'll wait for that to save. And here's a little preview. It's not going to be a very good, I'm almost done, so it's not going to be a very good convenience store segment. But I guess I'll maybe there'll be multiple parts. All right. So let's see if I can actually draw something here. All right. Things seem to be a little more sorted out. Oh, and our drop frames are down to 3%. So, oh wait, where's my chat? Oh, come on. Bum bum bum. Do I have to? Huh. Well, I don't have chat, so if you're yelling at me in chat, I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Huh. Wow, everything's running very slowly, so I apologize for this taking so long. I have to... Yeah, weird. Come on. Yeah, I probably should just do a restart. But always, I mean, and especially if there's like a inconsequential update or something waiting, always that causes trouble as well. Yeah, I had the same sort of thing at home. I can, for an hour, complain about Windows computers. But I had the same sort of thing at home where I got on the computer. Google Chrome crashed. I don't know how it did that. all of the, and I knew that by all of the extensions are just flaking out and saying they've crashed, reload them. And then whatever happened in the browser crashed the network adapter. So it's just a built-in, it's just a wired adapter, just an Ethernet card. And it crashed that adapter. And so I thought the internet was down. So I restarted all the routers and everything again. I turned off and restarted that. Nothing, no effect. Okay, so I restart the computer. So restart the computer, restart the routers again. Everything came back up. There was internet because I could get it on my phone. I couldn't see it on the computer. It was unloaded, so I had to reload it and not install it, but it was just taken offline, so I had to turn it back on, basically. And so then it came back on, no problem, and then Chrome wouldn't connect to anything, and all the extensions had crashed again. So then I double-checked by loading that wonderful Microsoft Edge. So the Edge was running, and everything was fine. So then I knew I just had to uninstall and reinstall Chrome, and that took forever, and it finally happened. And then after 4 hours, I was back to the moment where I sat down in front of the computer. And all I wanted to do at the computer was to download some files from Dropbox, because I can't stay connected to Dropbox because the software is such garbage that it just, if it has any trouble connecting to a file to, upload it or put it on the cloud or whatever, it calls it deleted, and it just deletes it on every machine. So I have to keep them disconnected. I can't use their sync. Their sync software is garbage. I can't use their sync software because it was just randomly deleting files that it couldn't access. And so then all I wanted to do was just download a folder, 3 gigs, a folder from Dropbox, and work at home. Downloaded the folder. It comes as a zip. It's a corrupt zip. I downloaded every which way and installed WinZip, and I already had WinRAR on there. And so everything that could possibly open it couldn't open it, and I downloaded it 4 times and then just said, I guess I'm not working at home today. And then I come here and get to wrestle with, what the hell? I get to wrestle with Photoshop and how much Windows hates my tablet. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how much time people do their own support and whatever repair for their PCs. And it's not like there's any other option. I mean, you go to Linux and it's much more intensive. You're sorting out all kinds of stuff and hunting down open source, some guy's hobby drivers for everything. And Apple, you're spending an arm and a leg, and you're getting basically a Windows PC with a goofy interface on it. So, okay. All right. Well, chat is kind of up. Okay. I don't know why it wasn't. But aren't you glad? I could tell you a happy little story while we're waiting for that to figure itself out. Okay. Okay. Well, we still seem to be okay. Yeah, it's very odd. I don't know what that is with Photoshop. And I guess you shouldn't leave Photoshop open, but it takes so long to open the application that I just leave it open. But then it gets bloated, and whatever the swap disk or whatever, the scratch disk, gets full of temporary garbage. It's endless. I just wish there was wonderful paper and ink that was susceptible only to water and fire, and everything else is... Everything else, it will survive. It will survive time. Unlike this digital trash, which is gone in an instant. Or gone if the sync software that you're using for your cloud backup doesn't see it. So basically Dropbox is garbage. And they know they're garbage, and their stock value is going down the drain. And I just wish it wasn't so integrated. I mean, they did... I'm not sure whose model that is. But they worked hard to make deals and integrate themselves with all kinds of software and even mobile apps. A lot of mobile apps will do cloud save through Dropbox, and you can just upload a save. from a Dropbox account, but Dropbox is garbage. Their customer support is garbage. Their software is garbage. And, unless you're paying them $100 a month, they don't care, what happens to your data. They don't care at all. So, yeah, I forget. I was using something for a backup. It was, back in the day where everybody's podcast was, or I guess radio shows, like early podcasts when everybody was getting sponsored by I forget, it was like magnesium or something, titanium, I forget what it was, but it was something that was supposed to sound strong, but it also sounded like something on the table, what is it, the table of elements or whatever. What is it called? Oh my God, that's depressing. The elementary table, that's not right, but it sounded like something that has a 2-letter abbreviation, possibly a 1-letter abbreviation. But it was garbage. And so it would run in the background and slow everything down, just like all this idiot Norton Utilities virus software that everybody was running and destroying their computers with. And I can't remember what it was called. But so it would back everything up very slowly. It would just kind of trickle, and you could set it, I think, to do it faster or better at times when you definitely weren't going to be on the computer like 3 in the morning or whatever. I can't remember what it was called. But then one time I actually had a disk fail me. I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's all backed up. No problem. And to download any significant, like over a gig of data from this service was as slow, maybe slower than it was for it to upload. And then when you got it, it was nested so deep in this weird, it wasn't even like exactly the same way. It's like it did some weird, had some weird system for how it kind of organized everything. And completely useless. Absolutely useless. It was, really unbelievable. Oh, I almost had it. I forget. It was some stupid strong sounding name, but I think they're out of business. I think and they had some copycats. I think they're all out of business too, because that's a garbage business model. And it's so funny. It's like an insurance company. You're like, peace of mind. I never have to worry again. You always have to worry. Digital is the most fragile garbage in the world, and you always have to worry about losing data. And you can never put it in enough places, and it's very possible that every place that you put something, they will die. And you talk to IT idiots and everything, and just do this and this. It's like, no, everything, every way you can store, this is terrible. Every way you can store digital data is vulnerable. And you can't trust any company. Amazon will, no, Apple will, you can't trust any of these garbage companies with your data at all. So the funny thing is, things that actually have value, like, work files and things, or, tax records or whatever that you actually need to keep track of, if you have to store them locally, you'll never be able to get them when you need them. But you'll have random digital garbage photos from, 15 years ago, when the beginning of digital photos, where the quality is so garbage that they're all taken on 2 megapixel cameras. So it would be better to not even have them anyhow. And they're there. They're fine. They're doing good. It's amazing. So it's never going to Never going to work out the way you want it. Okay. Neither is this. Ugh. But, yeah, it's just so frustrating. So, that was the pain of moving to digital art. And because I was right at the end when I was an undergraduate, when I was in art school, getting that BFA, I was right on the edge of that. So I learned, instead of, digital animation and 3D animation, I learned compositing, optical printing and compositing and things. Not digital compositing, but actually on an optical printer with matting and everything. What the? All right. Oh, I guess I didn't. Huh. But that is an incredibly useless skill. I don't even think you can buy that technology anymore. I mean, you would only do it if you're one of those like weirdo trying to keep some obsolete technology alive kind of folks. Ugh. Actually, I think I need to just do this. Make this look a little different because it looks terrible. But, yeah, that was money well spent. So I learned optical printing and film animation and, drew 20,000, hand-drawn, sheets sheets of paper for my films, my few-minute-long films. All right. Okay, I think that'll work, I guess. It's kind of sloppy looking, like everything. But hopefully it's sloppy in a charming way. But yeah, so, and because I think there's even, versions of some of my early cartoons that I don't like either. The paper is somewhere, like the actual Sharpie on paper is somewhere, but the digital file, how it was colored digitally, is gone. So I'd have to reproduce it. And we're talking, I guess it's quite a few years now, 17 years, but that's amazing that that doesn't exist. That's just gone. It's just like all of the, they even talk about that with preserving video games, like archiving video game source code and stuff, as it's not done very well. And just like early animation, they're like, well, we save money if we clean the cells off and we use them again to keep drawing new cartoons, because it's the film that's the final product that we want at the end, and we don't care about the original drawings. And that's what they did. So that's why that market happened for a little while in the 90s, people buying all of those. And they weren't even buying, the best part of it was most people weren't even buying actually photographed, animation cells from films or shorts or whatever. They were just buying these limited edition, like Chuck Jones drew a bunch of goofy things, and Friz Freleng or whoever who's still alive, that they could get to do some doodles, and then they would do, a 750 copies or whatever and sell them for thousands of dollars a piece. I guess that this is going to work. I don't know. Okay. We'll go with this. All right. So before we start the coloring, I guess we'll try to keep the flow of things going. I hope everything is working out here. All right. Ugh. Yeah, jam-packed. Okay, so let's switch over to the comments section. Let's see if I can do this. God, I hate this. I need 3 monitors now, right? I need to push this onto a 3rd monitor. All right, well, here you're going to get infinite me for a second, but while I switch this over. Ba-ba-boom. Come on. All right, there we go. All right, here we go. Wow, yeah, OBS is definitely acting strange. So everything's so the comment section. So here's last week's beautiful bum bum bum, and so we've got four likes and one pin. Okay, so he had to respect the honesty and decadence of putting that much sugar on breakfast cereal. And our two comments are honesty and decadence, maybe. Stupidity, definitely. Bum, bum, bum. When I was a kid, I put way too much sugar on my Cheerios. That's right, because I think that's why they had to release the Honey Nut Cheerios, or Frosted Cheerios as well, because to eat Cheerios, you had to sugar them incredibly and basically make them a kid's cereal. Yeah, because I can just remember the milk soaking in and creating a little layer of goo of kind of crunchy goo, crunchy stuff like wet sand basically over the surface of the Cheerios. You couldn't get that even though. It was always you needed that factory and those machines to get it even. All right, and then the one before that is yes, they had all the obvious reservations about a monthly fruit subscription. So I guess those are going away. I guess those things are dying. Loot Crate or whatever I think is filing for bankruptcy or going out of business and saying, don't worry everybody, everything you've paid for, everything we've billed you for, we're still going to send to you. But as far as the future of Loot Crate, and obviously because it was just like it's like using the model of like a dollar store to, I guess the logistics got difficult, and as soon as more people started catching on, probably the sources for that garbage, that just overstock trash of Comic-Con exclusive stuff or whatever that they could rebrand or repackage, that stuff just went away. So, and as more people started seeing that, because subscription anything is great because people forget about it, and you're charging them a monthly fee times however many customers you have, and a percentage of those customers will always be not using your service, just paying you. So a lot of people were getting a box of garbage delivered to them that they didn't even know what to do with. All right, so our two comments. Yes, and there are two. Fruit of the Month Club introduced my family to kiwis in the 60s. Oh my God. My readers are so old. And actually, that's probably the original subscription services. Yeah, Fruit of the Month Club. Because I was only thinking, like, I don't have as much history as some of my readers. And I was just thinking of, like, the not K-Tel, but the, what was it? Whatever the company was that would sign you up, get five CDs for $1 or 5 tapes or maybe 5 albums for $1, and then it was 5 laser discs or 5 VHS tapes for $1. Joining Columbia House Records, something like that, had that kind of a subscription thing where you get 5 for $1, but then you sign up for a year and you pay like $25 for everything after that, per a piece after that. So you would use whatever address and person you could to sign up for that freebie and get a hold of that first little batch of stuff for $1, and then let them collect on however you send it before. You probably need a family to eat all the fruit before it spoils. Ah, yes. Yeah, so I guess I'm looking at that too much through the more contemporary eyes, and what I was making fun of is like Loot Crate and stuff. And I guess I should have more specifically done that, like some kind of like trendy fruit or seasonal. Yeah, I don't know. There must have been something to tie it closer to that contemporary aesthetic that I was going for, because you're just making such a general thing about fruit subscriptions, like Fruit of the Month. Yeah, that was a thing. It probably still is a thing. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's a very American thing. I mean, not that it works with junk, with fan based junk, but America is big enough that truck farming and everything, like shipping things around is the only way you get stuff. There's always oranges growing somewhere all season or all year long. And you can't get fresh fish in the middle of the, like there's so many things that require stuff to be shipped to you fresh. And yeah, Fruit of the Month Club kind of came from that. You get, oranges in winter. And yeah, and I think that's a good thing. But I'm not old enough to actually have that as part of my vocabulary. Not yet. All right. Well, it's random button time. Let's see how hated and ignored some of these older cartoons are. Yeah, Fruit of the Month Club. Random? Come on. There we go. Here we are. An old pin. The sugar bowl now empty. Contemplated life is just a bowl. Oh, no longer a sugar bowl. Oh, and pin. Yeah, the older ones are drawn even wonkier. Even wonkier. 4 pins. Wow. His suction cup failure was the only thing bringing them closer together. That's just kind of sliding down the... All right. We got some pins. We don't have any comments. It's like, how? Nothing. An oldie but a goodie. Only from 2008. Hot tea in the office. Frequently involved in tense overbrewing. Yeah, I would always do that. Yeah, early versions drawn much, and these are actually like, well, I don't know, 2008, 2015 definitely is digital, but I can't remember when I made the switch. It was probably between 2008 2010 that I made the switch to all digital. I have actually forgotten myself now. That's depressing. The built-in sharpener must have had something to do with the disappearance of so many crayons. They just grind them into nothing. Oh, no comments. Ooh, 4 comments. Oh, this is a recent one, though. Oh, no, not that recent. Oh, wow. I draw this a lot. Oof. Okay, here we go. 4 comments. Let's show all comments before I scroll down. Here we go. Plastic or paper? All right. He looked at her with waterproof envy. Oh, isn't that nice? Opposites attract, but something is fishy about her. He's envious because she's eaten and he hasn't. Ah, that's good. Never wet for all your envy quenching needs. What? Oh, boy. Never wet. I don't think anybody should go there. And this is, see, when it's members, you can feel more safe about what they're talking about. And I guess I think Go Comics is pretty good about spam. But, yeah. So I had for a while there in 2013 to 2015, I had a good group of commenters that, yeah, were kind of following regularly and writing much better jokes than mine. But anyhow, okay, so that's the comments for this week. We actually got some. We actually found one and got some from last week's. Wrinkly little paper. Waterproof envy. See, you come up with those cute little phrases. Okay, so here we go. A clumsy switch back to the drawing. Here we go. So, hey, here we go. Back to the drawing. All right. So, these are phone books, in case you couldn't tell. Yeah, I think we're back. Oh, hello, person. Oh, that's why little baby boy popped up. Hello, little baby boy. Someone is scared. I guess this isn't exactly the easiest thing to walk in on, not knowing what's happening. And I guess, maybe I should use the brighter background for Photoshop. I think you can switch it because I'm using the dark setting, so it's a little scary. And I got black curtains behind me, like some kind of horror movie, Friday night horror movie show. All right. But, yeah, if you're new to the stream, welcome. And sorry if it's scary or if you just tuned in and I'm in the middle of complaining about Windows. That's got to be a real weird thing to click onto. All right. Ugh, wrong layer. But try to do a couple of different colors of... This is all paper. The white pages is just never that white, is it? Maybe I'll do a pure white pages just for the fun of it. There we go. Then I want to do some covers, but maybe on a separate layer just in case. All right. So yeah, I guess I did see that pop up on the screen. So I don't think I had it popping up on the screen anymore. Yeah. Oh well. Well, welcome, welcome, little baby boy. Yeah, boy. Sorry. And thanks for watching the stream. So do some covers to these. Trying to remember, like, phone books have weird kind of utility coloring. I can't even think of. Yeah, because whatever that, like, the phone company's color scheme is, they'll often do that. Try like a mint green or something. I think they're usually greens and things. But yeah, I should probably be aware of if you just the first time ever clicked onto this stream and what I'm talking about, I should probably pay attention to that. Just an incredibly unhappy person complaining about something. All right. I should probably just do this by hand. I don't know how that's going to fill. Okay, and yeah, maybe just like a yellow combination for the big one. Yeah, because I want these to kind of read as white pages. You know, the people directories, not the commercial directories. And often with the small, oh yeah, with the small ones, though, they're actually kind of both. So that's something that's not gonna work well in my joke. Huh, that's right. They often have to put both because there's not enough of either. Nope, I was trying to get that color. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I get like a time signature or something on the comments. Yeah, I did. I guess when I was switching over to the comment thing, I think is when I saw that pop up. Hello? Oh, come on. Yeah, and I think the drop frames thing is over, but that could also be a little scary. Alright, I'll just get these colored here. And here. Keep wanting to do purple. Sure. Yeah, I can't remember the colors of phone books. I'll do one more with some print on it. All right, and maybe yellow. Maybe a brighter yellow would look better. There we go. All right. Yeah, I try to brighten it up a little bit, but I guess things could look a little sinister. Okay. All right, well, let's just try to put some shadows and things here. Let's see how that reads. All right. All right. Yeah, so thanks for joining me if this is the first time. Oh, all right. Yeah, maybe I should do a little bit more. I don't want to make them shiny, but yeah, maybe that works as a little glossier and more. Oh, yeah, that doesn't really show up at all, does it? So let's try this. Oh, come on. And waiting for those 2 more lines to show up. Bum, bum, bum. All right. Brother. Okay, well, let's just try to get rid of those. Okay, well, everything seems to be quite slow. All right. Okay, I think that'll work. It's not quite the exact idea I need. Probably need to draw some trees. From what I remember, there's always like pictures of blue skies and parks and trees and things on phone books. All right, let's see here. There we go. All right. Oh, and I didn't do the drop shadow. Can I put them more in this space? There we go. Maybe a little bit more to show the height of that stack. There we go, something like that. All right, so there's one colored. And on to the next. All right. Maybe a little. Yeah, there we go. Oh, a little more red, orange based. Okay. Boom. Are we on the layer? Yes. Going with the old school colors, I think, of fast food. All right. And some kind of French fry. Yeah, I still have not mastered watching the chat while drawing. I have it popping up and everything now, and still I miss the chatters and scare them. All right. Yeah, maybe that color. Let's see. Hello. See how this color is what I want. A little brighter. Yeah, that works. And then some writing. Hello. Writing on these wrappers here. And something here. And maybe a bright yellow for the fries. I'll do the... I forget how I used to do that. Just a squiggle. And something a little darker. This is totally... I don't even know if their boxes look like this anymore, but this is totally ripping off the old look. Hello. Okay, let's wait. It's going away. I cannot possibly work fast enough. Ugh. All right. Oh, wait. Whoa. There we go. Strange. I don't think they look like that anymore, I think. But I remember that. Look. Okay, so we just bring everything down a bit. And now some shadows. Yeah, that's very funny. Like, especially reading the comments, I realize how much I've got an older audience that, you know, still would be interested in gag cartoons and things. And so there's a bit of a generation gap. So I think I'm, you know, a little young for that crowd and a little old for a younger, hipper crowd, and it's not, what I do isn't very cool. So I'm kind of screwed on both sides. You know, I've only got maybe Gen Xers as fans that can 100% relate to what I'm trying to do, and it's just one of those things. Nothing you can really do about it. There we go. But just get, some enjoyment up from the doing. And hopefully that makes up for the lack of recognition. Wow, that's depressing. All right. Let's see here. All right. I think that works. So still on this layer. Huh. Okay. What's happening here? Too many things at once. Okay. Oh, please. Let's not have a memory. I'm scared. Those are the kind of comments I elicit. Oh. Yeah, I think we've got a little memory thing going on here because I'm not interacting at all with Photoshop, so we'll take another iced coffee break. So basically for the convenience store segment, I'm just going to be showing you trash. Come on. Yeah, it's been an amazingly disappointing day. All right. What can you do? Okay, are we back, Photoshop? No? Are we in some weird state that you think I should be in? Waiting for Photoshop. That should be the name of this channel. That's what I spend most of the time doing, complaining about Windows and waiting for Photoshop. How did I get there? Okay, there we go. Yeah, waiting for Photoshop. Was that Samuel Beckett? The contemporary version of someone trapped in a never-ending wait for some kind of memory buffer or something. That means there is never enough time. Come on. Whew. Just a couple more lines and a couple of dots, and then we can put this all behind us. Come on, Photoshop. Let's not do this. It likes to stick at 86% saving. I wonder what that last 14% that it has so much trouble with is. Probably all the extra garbage they added in there, the potential 3D data and everything that I can... oh, come on. That I could have as part of my amazing Photoshop file. Holding at 86%. Oh... Huh. All right. So close. We're so close. Yeah, so there's a lot of horrible things to talk about that, yeah, I don't think will make this live stream any worse, like Hong Kong and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I wonder if we are going to have another kind of Tiananmen Square moment and America's just not even going to cover it. And this time we're going to have, so much cell phone video. It's amazing. 86% still. I'm sure you can see that up in the corner there. 86%. and holding. God damn. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. Oh, the title? Maybe it was the title of the cartoon. Yeah, because so the background is like dark colors. I'm just drawing like weird random objects, and the corner says domestic abuse. Yeah, I guess that is a little scary. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, I guess anybody that talks about being triggered by this cartoon, it's just the title. Wow. Yeah, that's why I've mostly just been promoting it as abuse cartoons, so that I don't lead with that. But I guess I should start doing that. Get some attention as being offensive, and then doxxed and humiliated and shut down, shunned from polite society. All right, are we back? We could be back. Yes. Okay, let's get this over with as soon as possible here. Come on. Couple more lines. Let me have this. Okay. All right. I think we are good. And then a couple of eyes. Oh. Okay. So I think we're good. So we can go to the me showing you my trash from the convenience store section. All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Is it really moving that slowly? Oh, and that's gonna be the thumbnail. Is that blurry me like looking at the face? Yeah, it's not. It looks like I'm getting like 8 frames a second, something. Yeah, when it blows up. So I was hoping. So there's a light over here coming from this direction, and I was hoping to take. I thought the slowdown might have been from the low light that the webcam was doing, but no, it just is terrible. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll figure this out. Because yeah, it's a 1080p webcam, and you're looking at a 1080p image now, but it's not. That's not 30 frames. And there's weird lag. Anyhow, whichever. Okay, so as I mentioned on Twitter, the return. Oh, they actually even put it on there. So what is that? Machi Cafe. So Lawson, the maybe no longer existing North American convenience store still exists in Japan, and they make a pretty big. I mean, it's not American size. It's not Trenta, whatever whatever the new Starbucks size is. This is like a venti, but it's like $2 for this much iced latte, so it's not even iced coffee. So I think I mentioned before, and I think I've had even shown this before, but it's back. It came back, and now they're putting a whale on it to make you feel like a big decadent pig for buying it. But there is the mega iced latte is back, so a very cheap way to get a lot of iced coffee. It's not quite as good because it's not like fresh brewed espresso poured over ice like Starbucks is, but it's decent. It's hot going into the cup. It's hot coffee coming from a machine, so it's just like this big machine with a couple of buttons on it, and it grinds coffee and kind of has a container of milk. So it's like got a tube of milk and a coffee that brews into it and just kind of spits it into the cup. But previously that was always garbage. And if you go to some buffet restaurants and things that have drink bars in Japan, they'll still have those garbage machines that just make terrible coffee, and everything is terrible that comes out of them. But saw McDonald's competing directly with Starbucks in Japan with the McCafe, so a little bit nicer, and they upped the quality of all of their coffee, and they did a bunch of espresso drinks, and they're decent. They're much better than original McDonald's coffee, but not amazing, but so cheap, like a half the price. And so they did a McCafe, so they did a nicer interior for McDonald's and kind of pushed desserts and coffee and snacks a little bit more to get at some of that Starbucks money and let people sit. Like McDonald's, I guess, mostly in America, not so bad in Japan because I know people loiter a lot more in Japan. It's not so much of a problem, especially students. But they make it more comfortable. The seats are softer. They're not hard plastic. They're not blasting you with air conditioning to chase you out of the place, and just make it more comfortable so students kind of pile into booths and stuff and just kind of hang out at McDonald's here a bit more. And so the convenience stores wanted to get in on that action once they saw McDonald's kind of taking a bite out of Starbucks, and so they started upgrading their coffee and having nicer coffee machines, and even some self-serve. I think 7-Eleven, you just buy a cup of ice that's marked, iced latte, iced coffee, whatever, and then you take it over and push the button on the machine yourself. So it saves the cashiers from even being baristas. You kind of just do it yourself, and it's just kind of like at a self-serve drink bar. You just get your own thing, and it just comes out of a machine, so it's okay. I think, I'm not sure this is pretty good tasting. The Machi Cafe at Lawson's pretty good, but I think the 7-Eleven, I think it's the better tasting one. Family Mart is always kind of not so great, but they're everywhere. Yeah, I can't remember. But they all kind of like did this. They all did kind of a follow the leader and upgraded their coffee. And then Lawson's did the amazing thing of, doing the giant coffee with the whale on it, because you're a whale if you drink it. And so it's nice because it's actually an American size. And I drink iced coffee only in the summer when it's necessary to cool down and give yourself a nice stomach ache. But yeah, so that's nice. So it's back, and seasonal things do not always come back in Japan. Things are very trendy and very, now you see them, now you don't. And so when something sticks, that's pretty amazing. So they must be selling these enough. And basically it looks like it just runs twice. Like the machine just does two regular iced lattes into one big cup, because they either push the button twice or you kind of see the whole process like run twice. But the quality is decent. It tastes like coffee. It doesn't taste like coffee extract, like that concentrate that they add water to. It's got a little grit to it, so you know that they actually kind of brewed something somehow at some point, or just put grit in it. And yeah, so that's good, and I'm happy it's back. But showing you my trash is not enough, so I'll give you, as an extra bonus, I will give you 50 centimeters plus 10 bonus centimeters of Nagai Sakeru. So this gummy, and this is Kyoho grape, the purple grape, dark grape, red grapes, whatever, the big grapes. So long gummy candy. So I couldn't resist. And look, it's got a ruler on the back in case you don't believe them. This is exactly how long your gum is. And I'm not sure if this is chewing gum, because sometimes gum just means gummy. If this is chewing gum or what, and I don't even know if I'm opening this correctly. But look at this, 50 centimeters, not 50 feet, 50 centimeters of grape. I think it's gum. Yeah, it feels like gum. Let's try it out here. Oh, wait. Gotta do it the right way here. Open it up and just peel the length of it. Oh, look at that. Kids just love it. So it is gummy. Tastes like fruit roll-ups. Yeah, it's a gummy candy. It's not chewing gum. Yeah, so kind of fruit by the foot, right? Yeah. So I keep walking by the kids' summer candy section, and so the long fruit candy. Yeah, so it's just gummy, like a gummy fruit candy. It tastes like a very soft fruit roll-up. So that, and it's the same company. It's that little dead-eyed boy, the Uha. Oops, sorry. The guys that have been doing so much of the candy that I've been showing you lately. Look at that little dead-eyed little fella. Yes. So it's those same guys that have been producing all the gummy grapes and the Tetris ones, and I think I showed you all of those are Ooh-ha. So, and it's good. It's very natural flavor. That's the great thing about most of the gummy candies and things in Japan. Most of the candies in general is that they're natural fruit flavors. So they're not a weird simulated. When it says the flavor that it is, it's probably got juice or some sort of material from that actual fruit in there, not just a simulated version. So it actually tastes pretty good and more tolerable. Like adults can handle it a little bit better. It's not like such a gross kid's flavor and not very sweet at all. Soft, not very sweet. And 50 centimeters plus 10. Which is only like 2 feet, right? Less than 2 feet. I don't know. Anyhow, but it's fun because when it's long, you get to peel it. Oh, wow. Anything that makes, that is a weird thing that you rarely do. Kids love to have, and especially if there's any risk of dragging it on the floor. Kids love that there's a chance that they're going to pick up some carpet lint or some floor debris along with their candy. That's why they like it long. So I still remember, I remember fruit roll-ups and fruit by the foot kind of stuff. But I missed that kind of mostly, but remember things like bubblegum, like shredded bubblegum, like Big Lee Chew and stuff. That would be fun because they were simulating chewing tobacco and even put it in a pouch, but it was just shredded bubblegum. You just take giant wads of bubblegum and put it in your mouth. So that is the long gummy candy. Yeah, so it's funny. When they say gum, they mean gummy. Gummy. It's not bubblegum, chewy gum. All right. So a little bonus there for showing you my mega garbage. And let's go back and write some cartoons. All right. Finishing up my 50 centimeters. All right. So I'm trying to chew off mic as much as possible. But the mic is sensitive. So, the idea, sorry about that. The idea for this is, kind of the American culture war. The big metropolitan areas ignoring and not giving a damn about the issues of these smaller areas. So collectively, in great numbers, they could make a pretty big difference. So let's see, in large numbers, small towns could be dangerous. I don't want to qualify that. I think I just want to make it as quick as possible. Gosh, bad typing today. In large numbers, small towns could be dangerous. Maybe dangerous is the wrong word. I just want to say could be contenders. Yeah. Made for. Now I'm getting too long. So I guess the joke was in small numbers, small things can be dangerous. Kind of like when we talk about animals or ants or insects or whatever. So I'm getting away from the animal joke if I start to talk about like being a contender. So a large number of small towns. Added up to could be considered quite a contender. Simple joke. It's supposed to be it's telephone books. A large number of small towns. I'm trying to put it in a more funny phrase. Yeah, a large number of small towns could contend with any metropolis. Something like that. I'm getting away from the animal thing, but large number small towns could contend with any metropolis. I can't even spell it. Boom. Barely fits. A large number of small towns with 2 L's could contend with any metropolis. And so that was the thing when I moved from Los Angeles back to kind of rural Midwest. I was very depressed to see, and I know I've complained about this before, but I was very depressed to see the kind of flight, nobody stayed in their hometown, and things just got worse and worse. And then people preyed on those low educated, underemployed people that stayed in those areas. And it felt very much like in the original Blade Runner, with the dirigible flying over there. A new life awaits you in the off-world colonies, a chance to begin again. It felt like that. Like when you're there, everything is pulling you out of there, and it's so beautiful and so green and wonderful and peaceful, and there's fireflies and the Milky Way and everything. It's things you never see in a city, but there is nothing. And once a Walmart locates itself anywhere near there, it just kills all the small businesses, so there's nothing interesting. There's, no interesting or local shopping. Yeah, it's just brutal. But that was very, very depressing to see those effects and that happening. So I'm definitely a fan, although I don't think anybody in a small town is a fan of me, but I'm definitely a fan of small towns mattering, and that, that arrogant bullshit, the New York, LA, I was referring to the flyover, that the area that you just, take your airplane over and would never dare stop in. That's very, very depressing. So a large number of small towns could contend with any metropolis. Is that one space? Yes, it is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to, I don't want to tip my hand too much politically, but I just kind of want to get across the idea of, like, the underappreciated or disrespected, I guess, more than anything. The disrespected, like, smaller areas of towns. And they all have also Yellow Pages would be in that book too, but I'm not going to draw that. I guess that's as good as the joke is going to get for that one. Come on. Are we here? Yes, we're here. Okay. A large number of small towns could contend with any metropolis. Could compare, maybe contend is a little too confrontational. Yeah, I don't want to ask a question, so I gotta be careful not to do that. A large number of small towns could contend with any metropolis. And I should have made this stack twice as tall. Okay, I'll come back to it if I can get that in my head a little bit better. Oh, okay. Well, this one was exhausted. He was exhausted by all the small fry jokes. All right. That one came a little easier, and I think it's not going to get any better than that. He was exhausted by all the small fry jokes. Okay. Maybe large metropolitan areas did their best to ignore as many small towns as possible. Large metropolitan areas did their best to ignore as many small towns as possible. Lots of typos. Okay. Small. Large metropolitan areas did their best to ignore as many small towns as possible. Yeah, I think that's better. Large metropolitan areas did their best to ignore as many small towns as possible. All right, that doesn't sound as weird, confrontational, or whatever. Kind of right in the middle there. And we all know how everyone loves the center. All right, he was exhausted by all the small fry jokes. Large metropolitan areas did their best to ignore as many small towns as possible, to their own detriment. Whatever the phrase would be. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, sorry about that, little baby boy. I don't mean to scare you with the title of my cartoon or the color of my background or my sour demeanor. I don't know. Or my gruesome puss. I don't know what that was all about, but feel free to stop by again and be scared some more. And I will be back again next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry about the late start and the technical problems, but it seemed to get a little bit better there towards the end. And I will be back again next week, of course. And a big thank you to all of my patrons. I really appreciate your support. You make this live stream possible. And hopefully someday you'll make a new PC possible, because this one is not going to last much longer. Yes, and if you want to follow the cartoon, do so on Twitter at AbuseCartoons. AbuseCartoons.com is the website. And if you want to become a patron and support this cartoon, get involved, and help make it a daily cartoon once more, please visit patreon.com/AbuseCartoons. There's signed books, original art, all kinds of good stuff for being a patron. And I will be back again next week. Thank you for everyone that watched this for the first time and was horrified and left immediately. But I will be back again to offend some more people. Take care.